Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. How's Eddie Frederick?
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Thursday, 12th September 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Veteran journalist calls for a CARICOM representative in Haiti. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. The Caribbean Community, or CARICOM, has been playing a critical role in Haiti's democratic transition. A local journalist is calling for the reappointment of a CARICOM representative to the country. Earl Bousquet believes this is important as the Transitional Presidential Council prepares to implement the transitional electoral system and process that will enable Haiti to hold general elections by the end of 2025. Manassas Stanislaus of DBS News World reports.
Veteran journalist Earl Bousquet shares the view of many international observers about the essential role of regional leadership in coordinating support to Haiti and the critical role that the Caribbean Community CARICOM plays in these efforts. The bloc of islands has already been acting as a middleman between regional countries and Haitian stakeholders.
We have a situation where the Secretary of State Anthony Blinken just this past weekend visited Haiti, and coming out of the meeting, the news was that he was not too happy about what he saw from the standpoint that the about 500 Kenyan police officers who are there out of a supposed 2,500, they are having problems getting their salaries, and therefore their mood and their morale is very low. And the so-called gangs, the armed resistance groups in Haiti, continue to be active.
CARICOM, through its Eminent Persons Group, which includes former Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony, has been meeting with Haitian leaders to chart the way forward for Haiti as it undergoes its democratic transition. The security of the Haitian people and the role of the multinational security support mission in ensuring remains a critical component of the stabilization of the country. CARICOM continues to play its part in getting Haiti on the road to free and fair elections, and Bousquet says the Transitional Presidential Council is being monitored closely in that regard.
Dr. Anthony and the other two former prime ministers have made it absolutely clear that until that situation is addressed, there is going to be problems for putting the structure in place for elections. But then that is Dr. Anthony speaking out of St. Lucia, that is CARICOM speaking out of Guyana. CARICOM needs a presence in Haiti. CARICOM needs, in my view, to reactivate the office that they have in Haiti.
He shares the belief that CARICOM should activate the former representative office at this time. The post, which was held by a St. Lucian, saw significant changes made in the country's affairs before 2010. Mr. Bousquet hopes that swift action can be taken in an effort to return Haiti to a peaceful state.
The CARICOM representative in Haiti, a position that was held by prominent Caribbean diplomat, St. Lucian, former permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Earl Huntley. We are now in 2024. It's been 14 years, and CARICOM has not, to my knowledge, refilled that position. My God, we need somebody in Haiti who can speak Creole or who can speak French, representing CARICOM.
Apart from the reopening of the CARICOM office in Haiti, Mr. Bousquet believes that if a Haitian representative is elected, half of the country's internal affairs would be resolved.
This is not a case for Mr. Huntley or for a St. Lucian or for a Dominican. It is a case for the CARICOM presence in Haiti to be filled, because we have an office in Haiti that has not been filled for 14 years. There is a vacancy for it, and if at any time CARICOM needed a presence in Haiti, it is right now, and the call is going out to CARICOM to give serious consideration to filling that position.
For the DBS News World, Manasseh Stanislas reporting.
There were new seating arrangements on the opposition bench in the lower house in Trinidad and Tobago. The 5 members of parliament who challenged Kamla Persad-Bissessar in this year's internal elections are now seated on the far end of the bench. But the MPs are not dejected over the move. In fact, one of them is looking forward to happier times this parliamentary session. Chester Sambrano of CNC3 News reports.
Taking their new seats in the parliament, the 5 UNC MPs who publicly criticized the leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar have been relegated to the far end of the chamber. When were you all informed about the changes?
Earlier today.
Did they give a reason?
No reasons were given.
As they settled in, the smiles on their faces were accompanied with jeers from those on the government bench.
This is the first time I've been so happy in this parliamentary session here that I am sitting with these 5 MPs. Someone left, someone you right. I am in the middle. So I'm extremely pleased about this. So I welcome them. I know that wherever they sit, I am confident that they will stand for the right principles.
And Haynes Alain says they are not fazed.
It is more important to consider where you stand in politics than where you sit. So the seating arrangements are really, it will not have any major impact.
Haynes Alain, Rushton Parry, Dr. Rai Ragbir, Danish Ramboli and Rodney Charles voiced concerns about the party's leadership and direction during the national executive election in June. But even after their new positions in the chamber, the bigger issue for them is still representing the people.
We remain committed to the principles of the UNC, which is to put people at the center of development.
CNC3 News reached out to Chief Whip David Lee, who confirmed the change. He said, seating arrangements in the House of Representatives are the prerogative of the Chief Whip, in consultation with the opposition leader. He also explained that they felt that small changes needed to be made. Asked whether such a move would hurt the party going into an election year, he said his role is in the Parliament chamber. As for the 5 MPs in question, all but Rodney Charles say the people will decide their futures. And for political analyst Dr. Bishnu Raghunath, the move was expected. He says the only concern for the UNC may be the Mayaro constituency. Chester Sambrano, CNC3 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
In the meantime, the Finance Minister of Trinidad and Tobago says a special report of the Auditor General on the 2023 public accounts fails to address the initial issue of the $2.6 billion discrepancy. Instead, Colm Imbert says the report, which was laid in the Parliament on Monday, only adds to the confusion surrounding the matter. In the latest development, Imbert is now calling on Jaywanti Ramdas to engage in talks with the central bank governor. CNC3's Jesse Ramdio explains.
The latest effort to resolve a multi-billion-dollar error in last year's revenue data appears to be unsuccessful.
The special report of the Auditor General on the public accounts for the financial year 2023 only adds fuel to the fire, creates more unnecessary public confusion, and does not satisfactorily address the core issue that arose with the Auditor General's original report on the 2023 accounts, which is a $2.6 billion discrepancy in revenue
When the sitting of the House of Representatives resumed on Monday, so too did the standoff between the Finance Minister and Auditor General Jaywanti Ramdas. The Auditor General's special report sought to examine deficiencies in an initial publication of the public accounts back in May. The first report pointed to an understatement of $2.6 billion in revenue and triggered a legal battle by Ramdas over a cabinet-appointed probe into the fallout between her office and the Ministry of Finance. The ministry subsequently pointed to an error with the electronic check clearing system as the root cause of the understatement. On Monday, Imbit said in conducting the special report exercise in July, the Auditor General's position remained resolute.
Instead of confirming that the $2.6 billion discrepancy had been resolved and that there was, in fact, no missing money, the Auditor General has avoided making any definitive statement on that very important matter in this special report, and instead has chosen to make caustic remarks about the staff and systems in the Ministry of Finance.
The audit conclusion of the special report found a breakdown in the system of internal control. The Auditor General further claimed that the central bank denied her access to the electronic check clearing system, which negatively impacted her ability to perform a proper audit. Imbit said both parties must now engage with each other to resolve the matter.
It is hoped that the Auditor General will follow established procedures and meet with the Governor of the Central Bank on this matter.
Imbit maintained the special report failed to clear up the main issue in contention, which resulted from an overstatement of tax refunds. Now, CNC3 News reached out to attorneys representing the Auditor General and is awaiting a response. Jesse Ramdale, CNC3 News.
Both government and opposition MPs agree that crime is a serious issue in Trinidad and Tobago, but they differ on whether a state of emergency is the solution. With the country's murder toll crossing 400 for the year, some stakeholders have called for a state of emergency to bring crime under control. Otto Carrington of CNC3 News tells us how some MPs feel about such a move.
The country has already recorded 436 murders this year compared to 410 in 2023. And the rise in homicides has led to increasing calls for the government to consider implementing a state of emergency. Trinidad and Tobago has experienced 5 full-scale state of emergency, with only one prompted by the COVID-19 pandemic. While there's political division over the use of a state of emergency, there's a broad agreement that crime remains a major concern for the nation. St. Augustine Member of Parliament Khadija Amin says government seems distracted in implementing any real strategy.
When we speak about these issues, it is because we are on the ground and we are with people who are feeling the pain, from children to adults and pensioners. The government has to get serious about crime. They have not shown any indication that they have a clear understanding of what's happening.
Former Attorney General and Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Faris Al-Rawi defended the government's approach, stating that they have enacted significant legislation to combat crime and that positive changes will take time to materialize. He said the government introduced virtual courts, abolished preliminary inquiries, implemented plea bargaining, and now use judge-only trials.
None of these things existed when I came in 2015 as Attorney General. We legislated all of that in the term that I spent at office, and therefore there is hope. Will it help people to feel better at night? Not immediately, but I think we're headed in the right direction. Certainly a lot more needs to be done.
Currently Central Member of Parliament, Anil Ram, stated that a state of emergency is a viable option, noting that Jamaica has also implemented it in response to similar challenges.
Well, a state of emergency was used successfully in 2011 by the Kamala Prasad administration, as you have known, and the then opposition, who are in government now, they had criticized that initiative. Either that has to be looked at, or some limited state of emergency that has worked quite successfully in parts of Jamaica.
Minister in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Adrian Leonce, admitted that crime is an issue, but noted that the politics must be set aside to deal with crime.
As you know, the laws limit you into certain actions, and we would have been bringing a suite of legislation to try to get the support to push this forward, and I think we need to put politics aside and start really putting things in place to actually fight and suppress this scourge.
Otto Carrington, CNC3 News.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.